Galileo. Mama told Johnny not to go downtown. Mama told Johnny not to go downtown. Marine Corps recruiter was hanging around. Marine Corps recruiter was hanging around. Mama told Johnny not to go downtown. Mama told Johnny not to go downtown. Marine Corps recruiter was hanging around. Marine Corps recruiter was hanging around. Susie told Johnny, go serve your nation. Susie told Johnny, go serve your nation. Take a cab down to the MEP station. Take a cab down to the MEP station. Susie told Johnny, go serve your nation. Susie told Johnny, go serve your nation. Take a cab down to the MEP station. Take a cab down to the MEP station. All right, Leo. Leo. Mama told Johnny not to go downtown. Mama told Johnny not to go downtown. Marine Corps recruiter was hanging around. Marine Corps recruiter was hanging around. All right. Shout out to all my devil dogs in the building. You know, I just have to put it out there. What? Yeah, they got cadences on YouTube. What you talking about? Yeah, that's Marine Corps running cadence with lyrics, if you want to put that out there. It's Mama told Johnny not to go downtown. Classic. I'm not a Marine, but hats off to all my devil dogs in the building, all my leathernecks, all my jarheads. Raw. Whatever it is they say in them tight-ass gas uniforms. Anyway, you know I got to talk about junk. Oh, man. Army in the building. Okay, so this right here is for all my tin foil hat people. All right, I got a question. I have a great question. And I want to know what you guys think, how you guys would feel if things would hit the fan, all right? SHTF scenario, okay? Blank hits the fan, right? Boom. Martial law, they putting people in FEMA camps. The whole 9 yards, right? Tinfoil time, that's right. Let me get a clap and a like for tinfoil hat time. Think about this though, this is a question. I was watching a video by Canadian Prepper. If you don't know who that is, put in Canadian Prepper, hit subscribe immediately. If you're a trucker, you can ride down the road for hours listening to his stuff and he'll make sure that you stay woke. You got to stay woke. Okay, let's get this started. All right, so here's what it is. Here's the situation I want you guys to think about. You are a veteran, okay? You have military service under your belt, military, police, first responder, whatever, right? You have something under your belt that the regime needs, okay? Now, you know that the regime is taking people and put them in, this is like, oh snap, everything's going horribly wrong, tinfoil hat time, okay? They're putting people in FEMA camps and Walmarts, all right? They done took away all the baby food and the diapers and all of the chips, okay? Everything's gone, right? Now, the situation is this, they come to you, you know that people are going and getting gassed and everything, just like Germany in 1943, okay? Are you taking the job to be one of them, or are you taking a stand against the oppressors, okay, on some 1776 fight for independence stuff? You got your guns, you got your food, you got your da-da-da-da-da. Are you part of the resistance, or are you part of the government? Now you got to understand something. It's not just you. You have a family. So, do you go with the uniforms, or do you go with the resistance? You got to understand that this is a grid down scenario. Things are crazy. There's pandemonium in the streets. Things are on fire. Somebody burned a taxi. It's weird, right? People getting their doors kicked in. All right? Women are not safe. Your kids are not safe. You are not safe. It's crazy out there. But on the other hand, they're taking people and putting them on these FEMA camp trains down to the old school joint in Indiana to gas people. Do you become one of them, or do you fight? Now you got to understand that this isn't 1776, player. They got drones. They got killer robots from Boston Dynamics. Okay? They have airborne pathogens and all kinds of crazy stuff. They got 5G radio waves ready to cook your brain. Are you part of the resistance, or are you part of the soldiers that's taking the citizens and putting them in these camps. You got a family to think about. My question is this, because see, there's a lot of people saying, oh, well, I'll fight. They got to take my guns from my cold, dead hands and blah, 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 blah. Remember all the don't tread on me with the snake? That's what that's about. Okay, just in case you didn't know. Don't tread on me. In other words, don't step on my rights, because I will fight back. I am an American. I am an American soldier, veteran. I am an American citizen with my right to bear arms and everything. You come around trying to take everybody's stuff away and put people in FEMA camps. But they have you outgunned, outmanned, out-deviced with technology. Okay? They have all these things. What do? Do you look at your wife and say, I'm willing to put on the uniform of those who are going to take my neighbors and put them on these trains? Or do you say, we're going to band together and fight and most likely die? What happens to your family then? This is the question. Okay, let me get this together. Okay? This is the question. What do you do? If you like these videos, this is Shooter Brown. If you like my videos, let me get a like. If you're not subscribed, welcome to my channel. I talk about weird stuff. I talk about everything. I want to have an open dialogue in the comment section below. Tell me what you think. What would you do when things really go bad? Your food that you prep for is not going to last forever. What do? Do you fight back and most likely lose, but die for a good cause? Or do you tell your family, you know what? Look, it's one of them things. Okay, let's see what they say in the comment section. Oh man, Elko Alex, I got my glasses on because it creates a glare and it's crazy, so I gotta read the comments. I might be squinting and shit. But it says Elko Alex, he says fight. Big Red Rex, he says the oppressive side will have more access to food and provide better security for the family. Morals and ethics go straight out the window when your kid starts crying because they're hungry. This is my stance on it too. I don't understand. I mean, I'm not saying that I'll automatically just go over to the side of the swastika, but what I'm saying is like, and then now when you look back at history, do you really blame them for going the side of the swastika though? When, what's the alternative? History will judge you. History will judge us. Elko's gonna fight. Big Red is like, forget it. Give me the red sleeve. Like, I mean, I got kids. You know? You gotta, Milton says, I'd rather fight. I'd rather go out as a warrior. Okay, Lamar says it's like an iRobot. No one believed Will Smith when he said the AI software was hacked. That kind of stuff. Now, oh snap, all the lights turned red on the robots. What do? Okay, you have UN soldiers coming down the street. They have drones. I mean, you got to understand the warfare scenario. We have nothing in the air as civilians. Okay, and if you don't have the air, you don't have a fighting chance. But do you really want to put yourself in that position to be either judged by history or die on the battlefield and remembered as a martyr? Because if you go to the side of the resistance, there's a 92% chance that it's over for you. You see what I'm saying? What do? I'm not saying that I know what I would do. I'm asking a question. What do? Share this video right now. Let's get this conversation going. Like this video. Okay. So, what do? You see it happening. Okay, close your eyes for a second. Let me paint a picture for you. You're sitting there, you're eating dinner. It's Saturday night. You got you, your wife, your kids. All right. You're in the living room because nobody eats together anymore. You're in the living room sitting there, and then all of a sudden you get across the screen. Emergency, da 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 da. We want all civilians to report to so and so and so and so. And then you see what's happening because you made provisions. You have a couple days worth of food. You got a couple weeks worth of food stocked up, you know, and you watching as time goes by and you're hearing stories about people going with these people and never being heard from again. Red Dawn action. Okay? But the people who are doing the Red Dawning, okay, is us. Is other American soldiers, American police, da 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 da. They're introducing martial law. They're going door to door, taking guns. They're doing everything. Do you fight, or do you say, I have skills that can help the cause? As long as my family's straight, then I'll do whatever you say. Get my family out the country and fight. You can't get your family out the country, dog. It's too late. You can't even get your family out the city. They done cordoned off the whole area. You see what I'm saying? It's a big old area, but ain't nobody going anywhere. Military done shut it down. You think they're not good at it? Ask the Iraqis. Okay? They done cordoned off the whole area. They're rounding people up. Right? And for a while, it seems like it's gradual. It's not they're just gonna fall out of the sky and next thing you know, boom, pandemonium. It could be like that. But, you know, Montana looks real nice all of a sudden. Hey, I can't hate on that. You know, major cities are going to be the last place you want to be when a grid down scenario comes in, because they're too dependent, first of all, on the network. You know, everything's going to go straight to shit when it hits the fan, you know. But the question is a moral question. The question is a very moral question. You're going to be judged by history. Will you be judged as one of the 6 million victims like Nazi Germany? Or are you judged by history as being one of those with the red sleeve? There's certain things I can't say for the algorithm. But you get what I'm trying to say, you know? Are you with the guy with the bad mustache? Or are you the guy in the oven? History will judge you. You can survive this by putting on the red sleeve. But what if later on the red sleeves are considered to be war criminals and they are all later on put to some type of punishment, death, whatever? You see what I'm saying? You could survive for the moment, or you could survive for, you know, E5 Charlie. What up, Sergeant? Shout out to my devil dogs and soldiers. Whoop. But yeah, what do you do? And then I'm asking veterans especially, because see, veterans we have this thing where, you know, I mean, we all took the oath, okay? I will defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, da-da-da-da-da. My oath doesn't have an expiration date. Roger. But will you put it aside when everything's gone and your family and your baby's crying and they're telling you what they're doing is the right thing, but you see what they're doing, that people are just getting rounded up and they're going to take everything from everybody? Do you become one of them, or do you fight? Are you part of the resistance, or what? This is what I want to know. I've asked this question. I asked this question, and what up, Mr. West? I asked this question, and I always couldn't answer it. Me personally, I couldn't answer it, because on the one hand, you know, I love this country. I'll bleed on the flag to keep the stripes red, right? But on the other hand, I'm a father and a husband, and you know, and the likelihood of my family surviving the situation goes up exponentially if I use my skills for their cause. What do you do? What do I do? Morally, I'm torn. You know, I'm weirded out by the dread of having to make such a decision. Even though some people say, oh, it's an easy decision, man, fight. They'll take your guns from your cold, dead hands. Yeah, but then if my hands are cold and dead, then who's going to provide for my family? Who can provide security? Who can provide food? It's not just me anymore. You know, I am a young man, but I'm not that young of a man anymore. You know, I thoroughly believe that, you know, it's one of those things, you know. And what do you do? You know? What did you do? You funny bruh says, how many tours did you have to do? None. 3rd Infantry Division? Nowhere. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. You can spin it however you want, but if you can't look at yourself in the mirror and see a man, then something is wrong. Double-edged swords. Well, what is right and what's wrong though? Because, okay, yeah, it's right to fight for the freedoms and things like that, But is it wrong to want to provide for your family on a more personal? My bubble is this big, you know. My world is 5 people big, including my dog Private Brown, you know. And this is what I'm saying. What do you do? You know, a lot of people think that that's an easy decision to make, because when they're kicking in doors and taking people's shit, and then they look at you and they're like, oh well, hold on now, you got skills. We know who you are. We know who you are. You know, 4 years Army infantry, hand-to-hand combat instructor, pistol rifle and shotgun instructor, personal security detail operator. We know who you are. Lamar says there's nothing we can do but comply. I guess when you have a family to look out for, it's a different situation. That's what Corey OTR says. Jay says, I'm sorry, I have to catch up. I'm going to tell you. This is about what I said at the end of the other video was what it's going to be about. It's about what would you do? Would you, if you can't beat them, would you join them? If the grid down situation happens and now it's martial law and they're kicking in the doors, taking everybody's guns, rounding people up, taking them to the FEMA camps, feed them, or presumably under presumption of being fed and have medical, but people are starting to get gassed and all this other stuff, and you don't know what to do. And you have a set of skills that they want, and they want to hire you to be part of their regime. Okay, part of the new regime of whoever's in power. Okay, they have the money, they have the military, they have food, they have drones, they have air power, they have firepower, they have tanks, they have snipers, they have riflemen, they have medics, they have cooks. You have people that you know. You have a few guns, a few bullets, a few canned goods, a few food provisions, but the thing that you have the most, that you care about the most, is your family. The decision is, would you, A, go with the uniformed oppressors with this martial law FEMA camp action, or B, join the resistance and fight and most likely die? And your family too, because you got to say, you're not just making this decision just for you. You're making this decision just for your family. And if so, are you comfortable with the judgment that history will give you? It's a deep one. It's a deep one. It's milky. You know what I'm saying? People go through this scenario every day in a microcosm. Cops got you, but if you give them 3 names, same thing, similar scale. He says a catch-22, but you can only see yourself taking family and people you know down a futuristic trail of tears just to survive? This is true. This is true. Who said that? Milton said that. Milton Moulton. Guess I'll be joining the cause because I want my family. She says, guess I'll be joining the cause because I want my family to survive. I don't know what anybody else thinks. We don't know what to think. It's a question. We're just trying to figure out what would be the right course of action and what you as an individual are prepared to live with when your name is spoken of in the future. Would you be one of the ones that said, hey, you know, I did the whole hide people thing. I did the whole Anne Frank thing. I hid in the attic when the Germans came around, you know? And that's what it is. Somebody bring Andrew up to speed. You know, he says, Trucker Val says, communists still exist. It's just more laws for now. Jay said I did what I had to do, no matter what. And the thing about it is, there's no right answer to me. There's no wrong answer to me. It's a horrible decision to have to make. I mean, you're outgunned, you're outmanned, you're out gadgeted, if that's a word. You know what I'm saying? They got more technology than you. You know, they got Predator drones that can zoom in on your cell phone. You think they're not flying over the United States when something like that was to happen? Even if they just change what it says on the side of it. Instead of US, they'll say UN. Like, it can happen. The question is, where does your moral conviction take you? I don't know what I would do, honestly. I can't sit here and say I'm the super soldier and I'm going to fight for the Constitution and Second Amendment and da-da-da-da-da and let my family burn for that. You know? I would take my family. Okay, let me see. You funny bro says I would take my family and fight when I need to and just go live in the caves. True. It sounds good if there are caves where you are. You know, I don't know where you are, so maybe that's an option. But for the majority of people live in cities. The majority of people live in a metropolitan area where a resistance could mount a formidable defense. But eventually, if things was to go wrong, you know, then you're still done. Big Rig Rex says, as an individual, you probably won't make much of a difference as another red stripe soldier, but you can make a huge difference as an individual for your family. What's up, Austin? You see what I'm saying? That's a good point. He's saying basically, you know, how potent would your efforts be to said cause compared to how potent your efforts would be for your family? Or is that one and the same? Because fighting for the cause could be construed as fighting for your family also. What type of future do you want your family to grow up in? You know? Trucker Val says, go to Virginia. It's like a war zone there. Checkpoints and shit all the time. Mountains, military war zone training. Yeah, I'm from Virginia. I'm from Norfolk. I know what's going on. Well, I don't know what's going on right now, but I'm just saying I've been there. I'm from the projects there. Bro, it could happen in our lifetime very easily, Daycab Gear Jammer says. Yeah, it could. And these are the things that we should be thinking about. In the grid down scenario, what do you do? Don't get me wrong. I have firearms and ammo and stuff like that, but I got one objective: to protect the people that depend on me. You know? And now if there's a big enough militia group that can be organized and blah, 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 then I wouldn't mind fighting for the cause. But at the same time, though, you have to understand, by being part of that militia group, you are not considered an insurgent. I think it'll be different here in Yeehaw, Texas. I don't know how different you think it's going to be. They might put up a bigger fight, but at least a bigger chance than Cali. Yeah, I give you that. You know, but then again, you never know. Don't underestimate the left. I don't think we should underestimate the left, because yeah, we have us as people who love our guns and da 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 da. We have just watching your trainee chilling in the background. Yeah, yeah. We're done for the night. Our load don't load till tomorrow morning. But this is what I'm saying. It's like we got the guns and the bullets and stuff like that, but all the tech nerds are on the left. That's when we really had to come together for a common enemy. You know, who's gonna hack? Ain't nobody in Texas. Well, I'm not saying nobody, but the average person, gun-toting American, is not finna hack no drone. You know, don't underestimate the power of the digital warrior. You know, maybe he's not on the front lines putting rounds down range, but you know, hey, if he can deter that predator drone from putting that airstrike up your ass, then you know he's just as a formidable opponent to them as the rifleman is, if not more. Cyber things would be very, very helpful in a war zone that's technology dependent. You see what I'm saying? You're talking about a lot of systems that could be hacked, a lot of things that could be disrupted from some super left California freaking Silicon Valley nerd with a laptop and a cell phone to project his signal. He could be a very dangerous individual to the people who are trying to hold us against our will. You know, you can't discard anybody. Those type of skills will be invaluable. You know, so it's like, it still begs the question: what would you do? You know, Austin said, I would assume vastly more important. Don't get me wrong. Front lines are important, but technology is at the forefront at the moment. Yeah. The reason why there would be pandemonium in the street is because the comforts and feedings that we depend on as a society is due to the fact that we have this technology. It's the technology dependent. The whole grid is technology dependent, and the systems are interdependent on each other. So if one goes down, the other one goes down. Think about all the people who are going to be, you know, dying around you because there's no lights and people need to keep their insulin cool. You know, EBT, you off the chain. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's only 3 days worth of food in the store. What do you do when that last can of tuna been cracked? And they're like, hey, you got skills. We want you on our side. We got food, we got water. Your family can get medical assistance. We'll keep them away from the front lines. Do you hand your kids and your family over to them? And now you're in their pocket because they already have your family hostage. You see what I'm saying? If you was to do something, that's what's gonna happen to your son. Don't imagine what's gonna happen to your daughter. You see what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. What would you do? Honestly, just turn off cell phones and how many are helpless? Yeah. Think about that. Think about the people who are so dependent upon this technology. People don't know how to do shit anymore. What you gonna do? You can't just go out and grow food that day. You should have been making provisions for that. You don't have no land, We are spoon-fed, and it's sad. And it's like, I would want to fight. And my wife would probably be like, we gonna fight. But can we win? Really? Or can we or do we become martyr motivators? If I get smoked out and somebody's like, damn, shooter, turn the APU off. Can y'all hear that or something? I keep seeing people say noise in the back. But you gotta hold the button, hold the knob in, and it'll cut off. On the part that has the heat, the snowflake and all. Okay. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, what do you do? It's a question that I can't answer. For me, I could barely answer for me. I know damn well I can't answer for you. It's like they're rounding people up. They're going door to door. You can get your family out of there. Somebody says, hey man, come with us, man. We got the resistance over here. We have guns, food, everything. It's crazy. Rally up as many like-minded people as you can and try to start a rebel camp as far away from the civilization as you can. True. There's always going to be that element of a resistance. But here we would call it a resistance. Over there they call it an insurgency. Like, it's a real thing that to be labeled as a terrorist, especially here with the technology and the things that they got. Do you think that your resistance has a chance? This ain't the movies. This ain't no rewind it and you come back to life. This ain't no, in the movies, you get way more information than the character. That's why you get annoyed when the character does something that you wouldn't do. But you're making your decision based on information that you got based as a spectator, not from a character within the story. When you're in that position, then what? It's hard, man. It's hard to think about. You're scavenging for food. You're trying to keep your family safe. Every time you leave your family, you got to wonder if somebody's going to be there before you get back. What's going to happen to your wife, your daughter, your son? If someone was to find your place where you're keeping your family, it's a level of paranoia. You're never going to get any good sleep. Sleep deprivation itself is going to cause depression and health issues. Because you can't sleep for too long because you don't want to be caught slipping. Somebody got to be up all night. Somebody got to watch out. Somebody got to sleep light. Everybody's crying, hungry, no showers, no TV, no nothing. It's cold outside, no heat. You got to have light and noise discipline so that you run a fire. Lamar says you can only fight AI with AI. As humans, we don't have what it takes to battle a robot in combat without using tech. Depends on the robot, but yeah. But this is what I'm saying. When things go horribly wrong and, your wife is like, we got to give it up, man. But then you don't know if you're going to end up in that gas chamber. Me personally, I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. You know, but it's not just me I got to think about. I willingly give my life as an insurgent if they would keep my family alive. You know, if my daughter could see tomorrow, if my son could see tomorrow, if my wife could see tomorrow, I'll walk in a gas chamber willingly. But you can't take nobody's word. They'll just knock you off, and then they'll do whatever they want to your family because you're dead. So what do you do? What do you do? If you like this subject, hit the like button. I want you guys to talk about this in the comment section. Tell me what you would do. Do you beat them? If you can't beat them, would you join them? You know what I'm saying? Catchabala says, what do you do? What do you do? What do I do? I don't know, man. The soldier in me wants to fight and die. The father in me wants to protect my kids. And which is not doing that? You know what I'm saying? Which one of those wouldn't be doing that? The question is, what would I do to protect them? And what position am I putting them in if I was to go along with the side of the redcoats, or fight and die possibly as a, because I could fight and die as a redcoat, but how would history judge me? You know? I don't know. We some goons in my family though. Like we'll go for the gusto. You know what I mean? You know, we'll probably be the ones to be like, you know what? We've been through some crazy shit. We can get through this too. Milton says it's a hard choice. Very hard, especially with my kid, but being from the country and knowing how to survive as a minimalist, I have to fight even knowing death is a certainty. Huh, that's very admirable. And I'll probably be right there with you. You know, the noble thing is to fight. The American thing is to fight, even if it means certain death. To fight for these freedoms that we have, that people before us have fought and died for. What makes me any better? Am I a coward? But it's like, against enormous opposition, we have stood firm and showed great fortitude, though. You know, how can I sit here with my veteran hat on and say I would not fight? You know, but as a veteran going to fight, as far as in the army or whatever, your family wasn't in harm's way. Your family was back stateside somewhere and you had to go do your thing. But what if your family was there? You know, what if the conflict of there came here? Or what if this has always been the conflict and now they just pulled the trigger on it and it's 1943 and 2020 in the United States? And with the technology they got now, there's no outrunning it. No outrunning artificial intelligence, facial recognition software from thousands of feet above that can zoom in full HD. You're not getting away. So it could possibly mean, for certainty, a good 90+% chance that your resistance is futile, like the Borg. You know? Daycab Gear Jammer says that stuff would get dirty. Yeah. Just fight. If you die, it's over. Fight to protect the country and family. Granted. Granted. Sounds real good. It sounds like a plan. But is it practical? With your family in tow? That's all I'm asking. You know, that's the real question. Everybody wants to fight. Everybody would probably fight. If it was just them, no kids, no wife, no nothing, you know? Now we're talking. Catchabala says from the inside. He says join them and infiltrate. You know, from the inside. Get in there, set off a few well-placed grenades, but I mean, you know, depending on what level of security clearance you get. That means, but for a while, you have to play the good puppy. You have to play the good dog. You have to do some things against people that were your neighbors to get in that position to make a difference. You know what I'm saying? Cold part. Fighting and is easy. Fight and captured alive. Daycab Gear Jammer says. Have you seen the TV show Revolution? It's almost the same concept. I haven't seen it. Daycab Gear Jammer says fight and die. Oh, he said fight and die is easy. Fight and capture it alive, though. Because it's going to get real medieval on your ass when they catch you. I mean, but that comes with it. You know? I think ultimately I would fight. And ultimately I would probably die because I'll do some John Wayne shit. You know? But at the end of the day, it's like, if they're pushing for a one world government, eventually it's gonna happen, right? Eventually it's gonna happen. Yeah, I cut it off, y'all. Cut my fro off. You know. But yeah, eventually it's gonna happen. Can't lie though, being posed with the question, I have to start setting up some plans and provisions for such a situation. This is what I'm saying. This is what I've been talking about. You got to stay woke. What if something hit the fan? We're done. The average person, you're done. You're done. Everybody's going for the low-hanging fruit. You might as well not even go to Walmart. Somebody that already drove a pickup truck through the door at Walmart. You might as well not even go there. Or they done converted it into somewhere you want to avoid. You know? What's next? Trucks with the food in it? Distribution centers? You know? You better get one car that runs on diesel. Skynet is aware. Skynet is here. Get a bunker. But, I mean, hunkering down can work for a while. But you know what they say about people who barricade themselves in? Eventually, somebody gets past your defenses. You know, you barricade it in, you can get burned out. You know, you can get smoked out. You can get watered out. You know, maybe it's better to go gray man instead of walking around looking like some tactical person. You know, because a lot of people buying a bunch of gear, but maybe you're underestimating the psychological power of the gray man. You know, gray man is a term used by preppers for someone who can blend in. You know, gray man is the guy who has his tactical knowledge and stuff like that, but he's not walking around with riot gear and body armor and all this geardo shit. You know, a geardo is a term we use for a weirdo who has a bunch of gears. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of gear. What the fuck was that? Did you hear that?
No idea. I keep hearing it. I don't know what it is.
Well, yeah, you know. But this is what I'm saying. It's one of those things where, you know, you can, when you pose yourself with these questions, you think. Now, I watch a lot of Canadian preppers videos, you know, and I'm not, I mean, hey, you know, I don't hate on nobody else's channel. His channel's way bigger than mine. He's got like 100-something subscribers. But go check out his channel, man. He puts out videos that makes you think, you know, you think about what to do and what would happen and what's going to go first and da-da-da-da-da. Like, I strongly suggest anybody check out Canadian Prepper. On his channel, comment, Shooter Brown got me here, you know what I'm saying? C. Klein, what does that say? Klein says I'm losing weight. Am I losing weight? I don't know, I feel good, you know? I feel good. I think I look smaller because I don't have as much hair, you know. But Lance says, at Eco Alex, the woods and water would be hunted and fished out in a matter of a month or two if everyone was trying to survive off hunting and fishing. There are a lot of people out here that's going to suck up a lot of resources. You know, appreciate that, Mikhail. You know. But yeah, if everybody's trying to survive off the land, and then I thought, well, I mean, it's going to get bad. You know, it's going to get bad. Now, I don't know how long it's going to take for people to resort to cannibalism, but you got a few million people. Well, I don't know though, because, you know, a lot of people don't have the skills to survive that long anyway. Before everything's all hunted and fished out, there's going to be so many people dead that you won't have much company, you know. White-tailed deer were almost hunted to extinction in the 1800s from people eating them, and there were hardly any people here. Do you look up the Walmart and martial law connection? Yeah. They are setting up Walmarts like prisons. Yeah. Yeah, I know. The 4-hour Joe Rogan and Alex Jones interview is interesting. I still got 2 more hours left on it. Me too. Yo, I thought it was just me. See, I like that, Lamar. You woke. You got to stay woke. Okay. Anyway, like I said, you know, it's freaking crazy what's going on. They did Alex Jones dirty. They did him so dirty. Oh, they did Alex. I like InfoWars. You know what I'm saying? By even saying that statement, they're going to demonetize my videos. I'll have to catch the replay to see what the main conversation was about. Yeah. Well, somebody bring them up to speed. A lot of folk can't fish or hunt. You have to remember what time period we live in, and most don't do it now. Walmart is necessary for most people. Yeah. And when Walmart shuts it down, it's a rid app. Okay? People are, when you talk about home, you want to talk about home invasions? Okay? When the people who have 0 skills get desperate, that's when shit's gonna hit the fan. Boom. No food trucks. Boom. 3 days later, there's no food in any of the stores. Boom. Somebody's coming for your kitchen. Just that fast. If you can't fish, you deserve to starve. It's that easy. Hey, at that point in time, it's survival of the fittest. You know? It's survival of the fittest. Then what? You know? They cancel him on all platforms at the same time. Yet I'm telling you, you don't think the regime is real? And they use that Sandy Hook as a scapegoat. Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. I don't even know if InfoWars is still allowed to be on the website. Like, I don't know if they still have their website. I don't know what they're doing, but they shut Alex Jones down. But it's crazy stuff. Look, I've been up here for about 42 minutes. Think about this, okay? I'm gonna repost the question. You guys talk about it in the comment section, okay? Straight up. He said, I said, in a grid down scenario, all right? In a grid down scenario, you have the oppressors, which are the ones in the uniforms that's gonna be rounding people up, taking people's guns, you know, taking a nice greasy shit on your rights, okay? And then there's gonna be the resistance, who will be outmanned, outgunned, and out everything by these people. But they're fighting for the cause of freedom. Do you fight, or do you join them because you have a family? It's not just you. Or if it is just you, say what you would do if it is just you. But for most people nowadays, I mean, people have wives and kids, husbands, you know, whatever. What would you do? If they're telling you, hey, we got food, water, medical supplies, security, you have skills that we want. We want you to come to our side. We'll keep your family safe and da-da-da-da-da. How would you react to that, and what would you choose? And would you be okay with how history will judge you if you choose to go to the side of the Germans rather than the side of the Jews? This is the question. I'm Shooter Brown. Thanks for watching. Share this video, like this video. Do what you got to do. Talk about it in the comment section. I want to be reading. I'll be reading it on the replay and everything. I get notifications when you guys comment on it, so I'll try my best to keep up with it and keep the conversation going. But I've been up here for 43 minutes and I gotta get in the shower, so it is what it is. So yeah, think about that question and tell me what you would do. Lance, thanks for showing up. Later, y'all.